I'm here as I'm the NDP MLA, but also because I really care about post-secondary education, and our party does and our caucus does. And I bring greetings from our leader, John Horgan, and as well as our post-secondary education advocate, Katrine Conroy, who's actually here, I think it was 10 days ago, she was here, and visiting with students, faculty association members, and just hearing what the issues are here in Selkirk, and really I enjoyed it. I also want to tell you, I'm an alumni of Selkirk College. My very first union, I was a PPWC member, and my second union, I was a member of the faculty association here at Selkirk College. So, sorry to both of you. Also, a little bit of true confessions. I flew in from Vancouver this morning, and thank God there was no fog, and I got up at 4:30, so I got some notes, because I just thought I'm not going to remember if I don't keep my notes in front of me. But there's over 167,000 people in this province that are educated in community colleges. There's over 60 campuses that make that possible. It's the most accessible form of post-secondary education in this province. And for every dollar that's spent in post-secondary education, there's a return on the investment of $3.80. You're not going to find that too many places in this province. And it has a huge economic impact on our province. Over $7.7 billion are generated by community colleges. And for those of you who don't know, Selkirk College was actually the first community college in this province. So it's a heritage we can be really proud of. And what the Liberal government is doing to it is just darn wrong. I'm not going to swear around. I always cross my mouth. I won't use that language. It doesn't matter how old you are, your mother gets mad at you. So it's what they've done to this province, to the province as far as post-secondary education, as Matthew said, almost $50 million in cuts, and that'll happen over the next 3 years. Almost $1 million in the deficit just for this college alone. And you can imagine where they're going to take those cuts from. And it's frustrating for the administration as much as it is for everybody that works here, because the reality of the cuts in advanced education, it hurts everybody. It hurts students, it hurts the community, it hurts the instructors, and it hurts everybody. And it's so short-sighted. The Liberal government, it's almost this fixation with LNG. I mean, we talk, we say, yeah, that would be great if LNG can happen in this province someday. But what's it going to do for us now? It's not happening right now. We see what's happening in the forest industry and all of the resource industries. And we say, what's happening? And they're not there for us. And we have to make sure that your voices are heard in Victoria, that we get that. And I want to say, too, it's not 3 years, it's 2.5 years to the next election. We have to start working now. It's in a couple of months, believe me. But when you look at communities like ours that are so dependent, as I think Matthew said, Selkirk College is a huge economic driver in our region. It creates one of the bigger employers, and we want to make sure that continues. He also talked about the cost of education for students. We have some of the highest costs of post-secondary education in the entire country. And people leave with the highest debt in the country when they go to school in BC, and that's just darn wrong. I know when I went to school that wasn't the case. I mean, in the 90s, the tuition was frozen, and what's happening now is the institutions are making up for the tuition on the backs of students. So it's families that are suffering, students that are suffering, and we see it in this institution. It's instructors that are suffering. We see so many part-time instructors, and we see a lot of part-time students. You know, we have more part-time students in BC than across the country, and that's because they got to pay to go to school, they can't get out of work, they can't afford to just go to school, and that's just wrong. We have to do something about it. You know, it's frustrating when we get down to Victoria, and we know they talk about how great post-secondary education is, they're believing it, but they're not showing it. There's no action in their words, and it's incredibly frustrating. You know, I think that we have to look at rural education, we have to look at funding for rural post-secondary, and know that that's where funding's got to go. You know, I said I'm an alumni of Selkirk. My husband was an alumni. Actually, my husband was a charter member of Selkirk College. Out of our 4 kids, 3 of them have attended Selkirk, and one's coming back so she can stop having babies, for those of you who know her. But she wants to be a nurse, so she's coming back. We've got 7 grandkids and 1 on the way, and I want them to come to Selkirk College. I want them to benefit from post-secondary education in either the trades or in one of the diploma degree programs, or to carry on and go on to university after the fact. But I want them to be able to attend Selkirk College. I think it's really critical that your voices are heard. It's critical that you're here, that you're making sure your voices are heard so we can take those voices back to Victoria. And let people know, if you don't live in this constituency, let your MLAs know for the constituencies you live in, that it's really important that your voices are heard. I really believe that it's about today. It's about making sure that what you're here for is really important. And I just want to thank you all, because you don't know how important it is to us to hear that, to see you here and to know that this is incredibly important to all of you too. So thanks a lot.